Dear students, welcome to the video lecture of test cases. So the test cases. Test case specifies how to carry out the various tests in a particular application. So test case specifically mention how to carry the testing task and what are the scenarios to be tested that are mentioned in the test cases. So test case which contain the information, very important information, such as we take an application where it is having a precondition, postcondition, regular flow, and alternative flow. So, what is a precondition? For example, if you take for a simple log, we'll take a login form. Precondition. Precondition means the user should enter a username and password is known as a precondition. Postcondition. The user should get a home page is a postcondition. Regular flow. The username and password is correct. Then you will get a home page. That is regular flow. Alternative flow. The username is correct, password is wrong, then the system should display error message. This is an example of the alternative flow. So these are mentioned the test cases. An application contains the n number of test cases to give a coverage. To have a comprehensive testing scheme, the test must cover all the methods or good majority of them. Test must cover all the methods or good majority of them. All services of the system must be checked at least once. All the services of the system must be checked at least once. To test a system, the tester must construct some test input case. To test a system, the tester must construct some test input case, then describe how the output will look. To test a system, the tester must construct some test input case and describe how the output will look. The use case developed during the analysis is used to describe the usage of the test cases. The use case developed during the analysis is used to describe the usage of the test cases. Myers describe the uh, objective of the testing as follows. The first one is testing is a process of executing a program with the intent of finding errors. Testing is a process of executing a program with the intent of finding errors. Second, a good test case is a one that has a high probability of detecting an as yet undiscovered error. Next, successful test case is a one that detects undiscovered error. So a good test case and successful test case should find an error which is not discovered earlier. Testing is a process of executing a program with the intent of finding errors. So we are executing a program with the intent that we have to find some errors. A good test case is a one that has high probability of detecting as yet undiscovered error. A successful test case is a one that detects undiscovered error. Guideline for developing a quality assurance test case are given here. Describe which feature or service, external or internal, the test attempts to cover. The test attempts to cover. If a test case is based on the use case, it must refer the use case name. If test case is based on the use case, so the test case should refer, document should refer the use case name. Use case are the source of the test case. As soon as you have enough use cases, write the test plan for that piece. Specify what to test on which method along with the test feature and expected action. Specify what to test on which method along with the test feature and the expected action should be properly mentioned. Specify, we have to mention what to test, what scenario to be tested, on which method. Okay, then what are the features and what are the expected actions. Then test the normal use of objects method. Test the normal use of objects method. Test abnormal but traceable use of objects method. Test the abnormal but traceable use of objects method. Then test the abnormal and untraceable use of objects method. Test the abnormal and untraceable use of objects method. Test the boundary condition of a number of parameters or input set of objects. For example, if an edit control accept 32 character, try 33, then try 40 character. This is known as a boundary condition. Next, test the objects interaction and messages sent among them. Test the objects interaction and messages sent among them with the assist of sequence diagram. Test the objects interaction and messages sent among them with the assist of sequence diagram. On doing revision, document the cases so they become a starting basis for follow-up test. On doing revision, document the test cases so they become the starting basis for the follow-up test. Attempt to reach an agreement on answers. Attempt to reach an agreement on answers of what if questions, and repeat the process until step 8. So you have to ask so many what if questions. What will happen if I increase the input size? What will happen if I give the abnormal input? What will happen if I decrease the input size? These questions should be asked. The internal quality of the software, such as its reusability and externality, should be assessed as well. The internal quality of the software, such as reusability and externality, should be assessed as well. Testing reusability and externality is a complex task. Testing reusability and externality is a complex task. Now the organization should achieve 70 to 80% of the reusability. Organization has to achieve 70 to 80% of the reusability. Many object-oriented reusability fails because too narrow focus on technology. Many object-oriented reusability fails because too narrow focus on technology rather than policy set forth by the organization. Many object-oriented reusability fails because too narrow focus on technology rather than policy set forth by the organization. GRISIS recommends that the software assets intentionally are created or acquired to be reusable. GRISIS recommends that software assets are intentionally created or acquired to be reusable. Some test cases supposed to fail. Some test cases supposed to fail. In such cases, essential to alert the developer. If test case fails, you have to alert the developer. So, for example, is given here: testing a file open feature. So, when we open a file, we specify the results as follows: drop down the file menu and select open. Drop down the file menu and select open. So the task, so activity. Try opening following types of files. A file that is there, file which is there, it's available, should work. It should work. Its file should get open. File that is not there should get an error message. File is not there, it will get an error message. File name with international characters. International characters means some special symbols. For example, it's quite possible in a web file and everything. No, so we will have some international characters and should work. A file type that the program does not open. A file type that program does not open. So should get a message or a conversion dialog box. Should get a message or a conversion dialog box. So these are the way that actually we have tried the results of the test should be mentioned like this. So if you take a test case specifically mention that okay, how to carry out a particular test is mentioned by the test case. Then it will very clearly mention that okay, how to carry out work in a particular application, what to test, and what are the activities to perform the test, what are the inputs, and how to record the results. So these are all mentioned in the test cases. Okay, so that's it for the test case, and thanks for watching the video.